What is the most overpowered block in Space Engineers? This is a question that I have been surprisingly not asked during my entire time playing this game, but I'm going to provide an opinion, a controversial opinion on this subject nonetheless. I think it's best that we start with blocks that are really good, and we have a couple candidates for that. The first being wheel suspensions. Wheel suspensions are really powerful because they can have their suspension strength set really high, and they can absorb 100 meter a second impacts from ships. Just a single one can stop them from crashing into the ground and dying, which is really, really powerful, especially if you land on the side. Due to the way wheels work, these things just don't really like taking damage from impacts, so yeah. Then we have the event controller. This was a recently added block in the automations update, or automatons, however you want to say it. Um, this block has the ability to detect a ton of blocks on your grid and perform actions like a timer does based on how that thing was detected. You can like see how far you are from a locked target and how fast your grid is moving, and like if a piston changes position. There's a ton of options. You should check it out yourself. You can do so much automation with just this block. Just this block on its own could have been an entire update. That's how powerful it is. And then we've got the programmable block here. This thing is even more powerful than the event controller. However, it requires scripts to be enabled. If scripts are enabled, you can run a ton of scripts through this, which can do pretty much anything and modify pretty much anything as far as blocks goes. You can make like aimbots and uh, automatic door controllers and salvo stuff, and you can automatic missile flying systems. It's crazy. And then next up, we've got the railgun here. This is by far the best weapon in Space Engineers because due to the way playstyles work, this benefits the kiting slash dodging playstyle, which is the best playstyle, and it's the weapon of choice for people who play that because of how easy it is to armor the block, how fast the projectile travels, how much damage it deals, and it also has a full 2 kilometer range. And then, of course, there's the mass block, which is intended to make rovers work where there's no planetary gravity. But most people just use this for gravity drives, which are a very overpowered form of propulsion that are just better than thrusters in every single way. And personally, I would not like to have them in the game, but they are anyways. But I don't think that the answer is any of these. I think the most overpowered block in Space Engineers is this thing, the full block air vents. And you're like, that's a crazy choice. Because this was added recently. Um, I forget which update. I think the most recent one. And yeah, it's just an air vent that's a full block. People have been asking for that for a while. And if they released it as you would expect the full block air vent to be, uh, it would just have been fine. But no, it turns out that this full block air vent has a couple properties that make it better than everyone's favorite friend, which is none other than the conveyor block. The air vent is literally just a better conveyor, and that's why it's good. Let's start for why it is. So these are conveyors here. They move stuff around ships, hydrogen components, a bunch of things. Um, and the main things we're looking at is their PCU cost and their integrity. That's how much health they have, and the PCU determines how many you'll be able to build on a server with a PCU limit. Normal small conveyors have like 12,000, 1,200 integrity, and the reinforced conveyors have like triple that, which makes them a much better candidate for conveyors. Do use reinforced conveyors whenever you get the chance because they will last for a lot longer. Um, if you want context, this conveyor tube here will get disabled with like 200 damage. That's like a couple shots from a Gatling turret, maybe even just one shot from a Gatling turret. And this reinforced conveyor needs to take damage equivalent to what it would take to completely destroy this block in order to disable the full reinforced conveyor. But if we grab ourselves a welder and look over here at the air vent, we have almost 6,000 integrity on it. This means that this block is like 40, 30 to 40% more durable and will stay functional for that much longer than the normal conveyor block. It also has 5 connection points on each side. From experience playing this game, the only time you'll really ever need 6 full connection points is when you're working with 3x3 blocks and they're really big, so you just kind of got to connect them on all sides because that's where your conveyors are. So you never really need all 6 connection points on a conveyor anyways, and even if you need something with a 6 connection point spot, just use a cargo container because they're just cargo containers. They have the same PCU cost, and they hold stuff. They act as cargo containers, which is kind of cool. But not only does the air vent have 5 connection points and has a lot more integrity than your normal conveyors, it also has 10 PCU, which means if you're playing on a server, at least there's literally no downside to using an air vent in place of a normal conveyor. And last but not least, it's still an air vent. It can still pressurize your room. This isn't even just a better block. It's just like an air vent, like that works as an air vent, which many people are not thinking about now because they're just using air vents as conveyors. So we have entered the air vent spam era of conveyoring. I think it's kind of stupid. I think the integrity of this block needs to be reduced because it's literally just a direct upgrade to a block that we already have in this game. This was kind of a short video, but I need to make content somehow. Yeah. See you later. Bye.